Welcome back, everybody. It's your two favorite boys from the podcast from Saturdays to Sunday. I'm Kale.
I'm Cam.
And today, honestly, I'm just going to let Cam take it away. I'm not even going to intro anything. I'm just going to give it to you, buddy.
Today is another position group that we're going to be going over, college football specifically.
Can't wait.
Kale's blind. I didn't tell him anything. I'm very secretive. Is running backs.
Yes.
Running backs today.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's a lot. I got a lot of guys on this list. It was a lot of fun, but it was pretty challenging, specifically for the group of 6. And then also too, just a disclaimer off the bat, especially when we get down to the Power 4 top 10 list. Anything that I'm putting in there comparing to players by like stats, ability, it's not to be negative. It's not to push any of those players down. That's just really what I had to do. Like when it was coming, especially for the 1 and 2 spot, there's a couple like direct comparisons, whether it be same teams they played, certain things like that I really had to look at as to, okay, what's this final little tiny thing that makes this guy number 1 instead of this guy? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And the one thing I will interject, because we'll be doing this for the next couple of weeks with our rankings, we will tell you if we're negatively talking about a player, which we're not going to do, honestly.
No.
Like, again, you guys can disagree or agree, but at the end of the day, our ranking.
We did that a little bit with the quarterbacks, but that's just because, there's some quarterbacks out there that are getting talked a lot about. Maybe Kale and I don't feel the same way about them. With running backs, though, like, if I really didn't like a guy, he's not on the list. Like, that's what's kind of fun about the running back position, is I really got to pick and choose the people I'm putting on this list, and there might be a few, even in the group of 6, that you might think, why aren't they on there? I just didn't put them on there. And then there's also some I put on there that really haven't done a lot in the past, but it's that potential, like specifically for transfers, going from Power 4 down. But with that said, I'm going to start with some transfers, and this is right what I was just talking about, not a ton of things we've seen. And I'm going to start with Jalen Lucas. This one feels a little overhyped, so he's now going to his 5th season. He had 2 years at Indiana, 2 years at Florida State. 2 years in Indiana were when they were real bad. He shows flashes and then disappears a little bit. So like in his career, he's got 700 rushing yards, about 500 receiving yards.
And his whole collegiate career.
Yeah. So like even last year in the Bama game, showed some flashes in that game and then just fell off the face of the earth a little bit. But now he's making his way over to Tulane. They're a team that could still push for a playoff spot even without their head coach, and they lost a lot. But he's talented. I believe he was a former 4-star, maybe 3, but this guy's good. He shows flashes. Yeah. So that's why I put him on there. Absolutely. He was also a 3-star transfer, so he's getting a little bit of hype, but we'll see with him.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
I put Donald Chaney on here. He went from Miami to Louisville, and then in this offseason was signed with Charlotte, then flipped to Louisiana Monroe. So he's having a lot of
moving, bro.
A little bit of struggle finding a place. So he played 5 seasons, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Again, former 4-star. He showed some flashes with the Canes early on. I think there's potential. He's going to ULM. I mean, pretty easy schedule. He's probably going to be the top dog there. So that's why I have him on here. And then I got 2 guys I'm actually a little more excited for. And I'm actually kind of excited because they're both going to Tulsa. So they could be a nice little duo for the Golden Hurricanes. And that's Taquan Jones from Old Dominion and then Damari Alston from Auburn, who he was the 47th running back in his class out of high school, 3-star transfer. But the Taquan Jones guy only started 1 season. That was his only season he played for ODU and put up 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. So he was actually pretty solid back for Old Dominion. So I think Tulsa got a nice little duo potentially. So that's something to look out for. I don't know if there's any Tulsa fans in here. I don't watch a ton of Tulsa, but I still pop them on usually when they're getting blown out. But hey, 2 years ago they did beat Oklahoma State. It was pretty cool. Or no, it was last
year. A good old Tulsa and Oklahoma State rivalry.
Yeah, that was last year. They beat
Gotta love it, bruh.
And then another guy. This guy, I have him on here. He's probably got 0 hype. It's Dallin Hayden from Colorado to Memphis.
I actually know that name, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's... Okay, so he was also a former 4-star. He was actually at Ohio State, and in his true freshman season had 500 yards, 5 touchdowns for the Buckeyes.
Oh, wow, that's not bad at all, actually. That's actually decent.
I don't really blame him for not being great at Colorado because we all know what their run game was, non-existent. And that's not to the fault of running backs necessarily. They just throw the ball. They didn't have a run game.
Yeah, they just were pass-heavy offense.
Yeah, so I'm actually, I feel kind of bad for the guy. he went there kind of like Dylan Edwards, who we'll talk about a little later. Like they went there with the prime hype, and then boom, running game disappeared. So
boom, gone.
Yeah, I don't really blame him. I'm kind of excited to see what he can do at Memphis. And then just a few more quick hitters. Ashton Gray from North Texas to ECU. That dude as a freshman was an RB3 on a pretty good North Texas team. So I think, he still put up 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. Like he could be good for East Carolina.
Now he's running back 1.
Yeah, Cam Davis, another 4-star going from Florida State to Liberty.
Okay.
Liberty's got like the weakest schedule year in and year out. So he could be something. One I'm personally excited for. Mel Brown is going from UConn to Colorado State. He's following his coach.
Your alma mater, buddy.
Yeah. In his career, he has 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. 21 total, so he has a couple receiving. He was behind Cam Edwards last year, who we'll also talk about later. And he started at Gardner-Webb. So that guy, he's following his coach. He kind of sat behind a really good starter last year. So I'm excited for him for Colorado State. He's going to be the guy, I think. But that's really it for, just some transfers I want to mention. But now,
some transfers.
We can get into a definitive top 10. Definitive.
Yep.
I like it.
So this is your top 10.
This is my top 10.
Your whole concrete top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
And we're going to start off with Jaheim White from West Virginia to North Texas.
To what? Sorry. Okay.
I get real big Chip Trayanum vibes. Do you remember that guy?
Chip Trayanum.
He went from Ohio State, showed a little bit there. Like, he scored that touchdown to beat Notre Dame a couple years ago when Sam Hartman was there. Like, he's a big body back. I get a lot of that from him. Jaheim White, powerful back, not a ton of speed. Also got a tiny bit of insider information from a really cool guy at the gym that we went to in Illinois, whose son is on Rich Rod's coaching staff. I'm not going to say any names. But Jaheim White kind of dealt with some injuries, and he also wasn't the type of guy that I think Rich Rod wanted to go with. And Rich Rod brought his boy, Cam Cook, to West Virginia. So I think that's the main reason Jaheim White left. Injuries, but also he got kind of buried on the comeback from the injuries. But I think he's still a good prospect for sure in the portal. I mean, 1,800 career yards, 14 touchdowns, solid average of 6.5. I think he'll be good for the Mean Green. Will the Mean Green be good? Probably not, because they lost their whole entire team to Oklahoma State.
And coaching staff.
Yeah, I still think it's worth it to put him on the top 10 at number 10.
But yeah, this is commendable. I like it.
Number 9, 100% a guy not a lot of people have heard of. I didn't hear about him, so I started doing some research. Hunter Patterson from the West Liberty Hilltoppers Division II program to Old Dominion.
You said a name, and I don't know. Oh, yeah. All right. Hell yeah.
I'm throwing him in at number 9.
Let's go, boys.
Last year, I don't care if it's D2 to FCS or to low-end Division 1. You can do it. It's a possible jump. But yeah, 1,200 yards, 17 touchdowns in only 10 games, plus 3 receiving touchdowns. So 20 total touchdowns in 10 games. I like it.
Not bad.
I like it. I see. Yeah. For anyone out there who's a Montana State fan, there's a guy named Adam Jones. He was their running back. Get vibes with this guy, not just because they're white and kind of tall at the running back position, but I get a little bit of vibes from this guy. He's a good receiving back. I think Old Dominion got a solid one, especially since they lost their quarterback and I think most of their running back room. So he's at number 9. And then number 8.
I have a little bit of hatred for Montana State.
Yeah, I mean, Illinois State lost to him, but they had a good game. That was a good natty. That was a good FCS natty.
It was good.
Real quick, number 8, O.J. Arnold. We've talked about him before. It's been a while.
I vaguely know the name.
Because he had an insane game. So he's at Georgia Southern. He had an insane game against Coastal Carolina, I think in like week 10 of last year, where he had 21 carries for 267 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pass for 73 yards and a touchdown, and 4 receptions for 53 yards and a touchdown.
Okay.
He scored every way. Yeah, no, he's dope.
Every way possible.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a 5th-year player. He never really was a starter until this year. He got a bulk of the carries, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, not a ton of touchdowns. Well, I like him. Maybe some bias from that one game, but he still had solid games the rest, And again, a lot of these group of 6 guys, we can't really go off of how they play against Power 4 because, like, Georgia Southern didn't play a lot of games against Power 4 this year. And also, too, he didn't start at the beginning of the season, which is usually when they play those bigger teams. So, a little bit of grain of salt with this one, but I like him. I think he'll have a good year. His last year, Georgia Southern. Is he going to be a sleeper in the draft? Who knows? Maybe. Most likely not, but we'll see. I like him there, though. And then
Absolutely.
for the next 7, dude, we actually got a pretty good split between the MAC and the new Pac.
Let's go.
I like it. So we got Jalen Buckley from Western Michigan.
Okay, yep, Western Michigan. He popped off in the bowl game.
Yeah, that's what
last year, man.
Dude, 174 yards and a touchdown on 8 carries. That's it. Against Kansas State in the bowl game.
That's like rookie fucking number or rookie settings on NCAA.
Yeah, nah. Yeah. I mean, his last 2 games, or 2 of his last 3 games, so the 10th game against NIU, 133 and 2 touchdowns, and then the 12th game against Miami, Ohio, 193 and 2 touchdowns. He had a slow start to the year, but really built momentum at the end. And then Western Michigan, wasn't a bad team, and I think partially because of him. So I like him on here.
He was their offense, kind of.
Yeah, he was. I mean, their quarterback was pretty solid. That dude was kind of a tank. He took a lot of hits. But I still like Jalen Buckley on here. And if anyone plays NCAA, every single offseason that you start in your dynasty, he transfers to Michigan.
Yep.
He's
always going.
You need to know someone, that's okay. And then number 6 could be some people not agree because this guy's not necessarily a proven product because he wasn't a starter last year, but it's Will Henderson III from UTSA. He was a backup to Robert Henry, who was top 5 in the nation in rushing yards for a majority of the season. That guy got a lot of carries. And yet, Henderson still put up 866 on the ground. I think that's pretty good.
Wow.
6 touchdowns.
It's impressive, honestly.
Redshirt sophomore. So he's coming in to the starting role. We've talked about Owen McCown. He was my number 1 quarterback for the group of 6 when we did the quarterback rankings. So I don't know if you could tell, I'm kind of excited for UTSA. I think they could be could they be another North Texas? Who knows?
A sleeper?
Who knows? They have the talent there. They didn't lose a ton. Obviously, they have people coming back, running back. They lost Robert Henry, but he was a senior. He was graduating. They lost a receiver. But overall, I think UTSA is in a pretty solid spot, and that's why he's my number 6 too. And then number 5 and 4, you could flip these. I'm going to leave it, though. You could flip it, but I'm going to leave it how I had it. Jaden Thomas from UNLV, 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. It's not the craziest. 7-yard average, though, is what I really like.
That's decent, averaging 7 yards per carry.
And he has 33 career touchdowns in 3 seasons. I also like that.
That's really impressive, too.
I like it. He's getting some love because it's kind of hard to because I try to see what other people do too with their top 10 lists after I build mine. Kind of hard to find top 10 lists for the group of 6, but for the most part, Jaden Thomas is at least a top 10. So I think he is getting some love out there. And UNLV, I mean, they're in prime position to win the Mountain West because Boise left, and it was them every year playing each other for the Mountain West.
It's their conference to lose at this point. Let's be so for real.
And then number 4, Kanye Udo. I was wrong about him last year. He transferred from
Army know who that is.
To Arizona State. I was really excited for him. He got beat out. I can't really blame him because Raleek Brown is the one that beat him out. And again, we'll talk about him later too because he also transferred. But now, Kanye Udo found his way to Liberty, where I think resurgence. I think he's going to have a resurgence, and he's going to be my number 4. 2 years ago at Army, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. I think that's good. And he's returning back to an easier schedule in the group of 6.
Yeah.
I think he'll pop off. I also think he dealt with a little bit of injuries at Arizona State that weren't kind of reported. And the main reason I say that is because literally by chance there was a TikTok interviewer going around ASU's campus, interviewing people. He happened to interview Kanye Udo, and the dude was wearing a boot. But it wasn't reported because, again, he wasn't really the top running back.
And it's the off season too.
Exactly. So that was maybe something that factored into him not playing too much at Arizona State because the dude has talent. So I am excited to see what he does at Liberty. But going through these real quick, Lucky Sutton from San Diego State. Dude had 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns in his first year starting. So I think the Aztecs have a good running back there. Someone I love, I wanted to put him in number 1, but I kind of cheated with my number 1 for this list. But Say Bangura from Ohio. I love that dude, and he's actually at Ohio for his 2nd time. So he started at Ohio, went to Rutgers, didn't do much, went back to Ohio, and last year carried the team. He had 1,392 yards, which was 6th in the nation, 15 touchdowns, about 6-yard average. And the one game I remember, I think it was against Miami, Ohio, he had a kick return touchdown that sparked them, and then they just rolled. Because that was a big game for the MAC. So I get like Cal Monangai vibes from him, and I'm not just saying that because he went to Rutgers. They're both that kind of like stocky, like downhill runner back.
Big body bowling ball. Yeah,
kind of. But they're also pretty elusive, so I like him. I think, because Parker Navarro's gone, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's gone.
No, he's gone. Yeah,
so
it's
gonna be Ben Gur's team again, and he's gonna have to carry him. So I'm excited for that. And then here's my cheat. I cheated. My number one is actually a duo because I think together they're gonna be amazing. And that's Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines for Boise State. They're my duo. And the reason
the 1-2 fuckaroo?
Yeah, because last year they had a 3-back system. There's a transfer from Fresno State, Sherrod, that got a lot of the touches too. But Dylan Riley was still the number one. He had 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, and some receiving. And then Sire Gaines is like an RB2-3. Still had 800 yards, 8 touchdowns.
Okay.
So I think both of them together are going to be the top running room in the Group of 6, 100%.
Kind of like a Sonic and Knuckles type of thing, like the Detroit Lions had.
Yeah, I really like it, especially like even looking back at the Oregon game, like Oregon struggled 2 years ago to stop them. Like Sire Gaines was only a freshman at that point, barely getting touches.
You were hype about him a couple years ago. I remember you talking about him.
Yeah, because he was like he was actually getting the bulk of the touches behind Genty. And
yes, I remember this name now.
Yeah, he was.
Because you were hype as hell about him
with them. Yeah, and so again, it's going into his third year with some good play time. I think he'll be great, but a lot of people are putting Dylan Riley as like their top one. I had to lump Sire Gaines in here. I just think that.
Well, yeah, it's only right. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
I think that.
Come on, Nate.
That's really it for the Group of 6. For anyone that is interested, it was a quick little 15-minute segment, part of it. But now we'll get into the Power 4. I think that's what most people want to hear about.
Why people are here.
For this one, I'm going to start with the honorable mentions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Then I'm going to go into the top 10, and then I'm going to wrap back around to talk about some sleepers.
Yeah, I love it. Let's do it. Right. I'm excited.
My first honorable mention, I'm sure a lot of people want in the top 10, and that's Caleb Hawkins.
I actually like it. Yep. I like it.
Obviously, insane freshman season. He's a solid receiving back. You can't keep him off the list. I'm super excited to see what he does in the Big 12. It was just his 2 games for South Florida and Tulane that I'm nitpicking a little bit because those were the 2 biggest games. He did look like he was struggling, like he was running heavy. It looked like he was hurting a little bit. But then in the bowl game for San Diego State, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ended the season real well.
Yeah.
Obviously,
he ended it on a high.
He's young. You could tell there was times where even though Mestamaker threw the ball a ton, they were kind of overloading Hawkins, who again, true freshman, young guy with carries. So I think that's kind of what played a little bit of a part. Like the South Florida game, that was a rough game as a team in general after a bit, South Florida just ran away with it. And then Tulane, there's a lot of reffing controversies. Tulane just could not get out of the funk. North Texas couldn't get out of the funk against Tulane. So give him a little bit of grace there, but he absolutely can be a top 10 running back. So that's why he's my first honorable mention.
Honestly, it's not bad with the honorable mentions. And again, to preference this, everybody, that doesn't mean they're not a bad running back.
Nope.
All right? I cannot stress that enough in this podcast.
Dude, there's so many running backs in college football too. So there's so many. Because how many of these teams are just a great duo,
That's what I'm saying. Honestly, yeah.
There's so many. And then too, with these honorable mentions, basically think about it as any of these guys could be ranked 11th. You know what I'm saying? They could be ranked 11th.
I got you.
The next one
I like it.
Talked about, it's going to be a duo. We're going to talk about both of them, is Raleek Brown from Arizona State to Texas and Hollywood Smothers from NC State to Texas, who was committed to Bama for just a little bit of time. And then flipped to Texas. This was a great get for Texas.
But yeah, man, Texas is...
Yeah, because Raleek Brown, I think, also kind of fits that Cal Monangai mold, but he's a little more faster than Monangai was in college. And then Hollywood Smothers is faster than him, and he's got that home run ability.
Yep.
Dude, I think that's a great duo. That could be the Sonic
Alabama could have had.
Yeah, that could be the Sonic and Knuckles duo, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, they're both studs. I don't really have to say too much. A lot of people know who they are. I think you can buy into at least the Texas offense hype this year after getting Cam Coleman and then these 2 running backs. The Texas offense hype you can buy into 100%. And then another duo. There's going to be a few duos we're going to talk about. Nate Frazier and Chauncey Bowens for Georgia.
Yep, Georgia.
I really like how they complement each other. Chauncey Bowens is a he's a fucking beast. Like, that dude is
He's a big boy.
Yeah, and they're young. Like, I think that was Bowen's freshman year, Frazier sophomore year last year. So they're young.
Okay. Yeah.
We know Georgia's going to run the ball. So I
They
think
love to run.
these two guys, like, one of them is going to end up probably being top 10 by the end of the year. That's just my take.
But yeah, without a doubt, man.
Yeah, that's my take on it. And then another one, if it wasn't for the injury, Justice Haynes would easily be a top 10 running back going into next year because he was a Heisman front runner for the first
4 weeks.
Yeah.
My boy was popping off.
Dude, like 7 games, almost 900 yards, 10 touchdowns. Like, he only had 1 game under 100 yards, 150 plus in 2 games. Like, dude, he's a top 10 back if he stays 100% healthy. But on that note, Jordan Marshall stepped up in a big way when he went down. A lot of people have him in the top 10. I'm putting him here in the lump because I think either one of them, whoever kind of gets that little kick over the other, will be the top 10. Because Jordan Marshall, he did great. For sure could be a top 10.
Wait a minute. I have to pause. Sorry. I'm stupid. Jordan Marshall transferred to Georgia Tech?
Michigan. No, you're thinking of Jamal Haynes, Justice Haynes, sorry.
Okay, sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry. I was having a little bit of a
Justice Haynes from Bama to Michigan. And then Jordan Marshall from Michigan. I don't want to blame him. His only blemish is the Ohio State game, but I don't want to blame him for that because he only had 7 touches and still put up 61 yards. Like, that's a game plan thing. They needed to feed him more. So I'm not saying that's the reason he's not in my top 10 because that's kind of shitty. That's a coaching thing. The dude was averaging 8.8 yards a carry against Ohio State, and they didn't give it to him anymore.
He had some breakaway runs.
Yeah, no, see, exactly. So I think those two together, another top duo. It seems like I'm just doing a list of the top duos, but I promise we're going to get into some solid lone running backs.
Honestly, like you said too, I'm going to reiterate it. Like, college football is huge. There's a lot more teams than there is in the NFL. Like, it's okay to duo them up. I respect it, honestly. I really do. I like it.
And I think you're going to like where we're getting to because now it's just some single dudes in my honorable mention. I got Nate Shepard from Duke. He was a freshman last year, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. He's a young, elusive running back that has a super high ceiling. You know, like, not a lot of people knew about him last year. I didn't know about him last year until he started playing and starting, but
I had no idea who this was.
Yeah, I mean, he struggled against Illinois, but I don't think he was fully a starter yet at that point, so he also didn't get a ton of carries that early in the season, so I don't really hold that against him. So, I mean, young guys with huge potential, they're gonna be on the honorable mentions for sure.
And Mensa's gone too, so they could be very run heavy now too, with him being the RB1. So we'll just have to see, man.
100%. Cam Cook, we talked about him a little bit. Don't need his dude. He led the nation in rushing yards. Like, we don't have to talk a lot. Obviously, it was a weak Conference USA schedule, but he's back with his coach, and he's Rich Rod's guy. So I think the offense is going to run through him.
He'll pound the rock with him.
Yeah, 100%. The offense is going to run through him, and like, he can handle a lot of carries. Like, obviously, he had 1,700 yards, 16 touchdowns, and he didn't have the craziest average, 5.6. So, like, he gets carries, and he can handle it. So I'm excited for that one. And then on that note, another running back who this time followed his coach, kind of like Caleb Hawkins did, is Wayne Knight from JMU to UCLA. 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. I mean, he is obviously going into a harder conference defensively, 100%. But he put up 110 versus Oregon on 17 carries. And I know there's the argument that a lot of people, including me, as Oregon fans, cope with, is Oregon did sit all their starters for a majority of the second half. But the backups that played against JMU are people that played a lot of the season, because that's kind of like what Lanning does. He does a lot of rotation and a lot of packages of defenders. So a lot of the defenders have experience, they have skill. So to still do that against a solid Oregon defense, even if it's a lot of backups, I give him credit. I like it. I'm hoping he does well for UCLA. And again, he has Nico now. So
yeah, Nico. Yep.
So that'll help.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's my honorable mentions.
I like your honorable mention list too. I like the pairings. I like it. Let's keep this ball rolling.
All right.
I like it, man.
Number 10, we're staying in the Big Ten. That's Antoine Raymond for Rutgers.
Yeah.
I'm keeping him number 10. 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns, solid average of 5. A little rough in his two hardest games versus Oregon and Ohio State. Only had 107 combined yards, 1 touchdown, 3.2 average. again, kind of looking at it from a team perspective, abandoning the run, because Oregon came out, slapped Rutgers in the mouth, and went up like 21-0 in the blink of an eye. You're gonna
that'll stop the run.
Yeah, you're gonna do
naturally.
it. So I'm wishful thinking here that he's gonna be better in the tougher games this upcoming year. They did lose some of their receiving talent. They lost their quarterback. It's kind of hard to be optimistic about Rutgers as a whole, but I think the offense is going to run through him, and I think that's going to force them in these bigger games to not abandon the run as soon as they did. Because he did good against Penn State, and I know Penn State had a bad year, but they still had a good, solid defense for the most part. I mean, you saw what they did against Indiana. They were still solid.
Almost won.
So I got him there. Number 9, kind of struggled with putting him here. Cameron Dickey from Texas Tech. Insane year. Big reason they were so good. Killed BYU. Like, he was great against BYU both times. Like, he was a big reason they smacked BYU both times. But Oregon, 11 carries for 29 yards when he got up against a team in the playoffs.
They gridlocked him.
Yeah, but again, kind of was an ugly offensive game on both sides. Like, Oregon didn't have the best offense. Like, Dante Moore, it took a while for him to get going. So I think Cameron Dickey still deserves to be a top 10 running back, you know? That was like his first.
I agree.
That was his first real test of his career, low key up until this point. I know BYU is still a good team. There's still other good teams in the Big 12, but that was a big time playoff game against a great Big 10 defense. So, great Big 10 defense for the most part. We know they got fucked by Indiana, but a lot of people did. Just going to leave him there, number 9. Then number 8, still in the Big 12. Speaking of BYU, LJ Martin, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, 255 receiving yards. He was solid versus Utah with 122 yards. He did get shut down by Tech the first time, but then the second time bounced back with 76 rushing yards, 30 receiving, and a touchdown. So 100 yards and a touchdown against arguably one of the better defenses, at least during the regular season, one of the best in college football. I like it, and I think he'll have a good year. And Bear Bachmeier's just getting stronger. They've had a crazy amount of weird stuff going on with receivers. There was this whole thing with the receiver in a very bad case off the field, and then apparently another receiver who's supposed to be a starter just backed away from the team, and that happened like yesterday. So it could be a run-heavy team for sure.
It's probably going to be those Mormons, those silly Mormons.
I know. I don't know what's going on, man. Just flying through though. Number 7, Deshaun Bishop from Tennessee. I see some people talking about him. I do see that. Okay. I saw one guy had him ranked 4th on his top 10 list, I believe, or 5th. Either way, I got him to 7. Only 1,000 yards. I say only because being a top 10 running back, not the best. 16 touchdowns, 6 average. But one thing I did really like about him, because Tennessee, dude, towards the end of the season, it seemed like he was the only one showing up. Like Joey Aguilar, still a good quarterback, but dude, it seemed like Bishop was the only one showing up, specifically versus Bama. Because against Bama, he had 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, and averaged 8.8 a carry.
Bama's defense sucked, though, last year.
They still shut down some good running backs, though. But they couldn't seem to shut down Bishop, is all I'm saying. And then he had 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5-point average in each of his last 2 games on pretty minimal carries. And those were ugly games when they lost to Vanderbilt and then Illinois. Those were pretty ugly games. But again, it seemed like he was the only one that showed up, and he was the one that was trying. And I could see like a season, like I forget the running back's name, the one that 2 years ago put up like 22 touchdowns. I think he's on the Steelers now. Is it Samson? Something like that.
Samson.
Dylan
I
Sampson.
don't know.
Yeah, but he put up like 22
Oh, no, Dylan Sampson's on the Browns.
He's on the Browns. But yeah, he put up like 22
the dude
touchdowns.
that was just I know who you're talking about.
I can see another season like that because let's be honest, Tennessee is probably not going to be as good next year. They don't even know their quarterback situation.
I was just about to ask that, not to completely and squirrel right, whatever.
No, I haven't seen anything about an actual starter named yet. It could still be the Colorado transfer. It could still be that former 4-star. Who knows? Who knows what's going on in Rocky Top? But I still think Deshaun Bishop is going to be the bright spot of the Volunteers. Number 6 might be controversial. Some people had him at number 2. Saw someone have him at number 1, and that's Bo Jackson. I got him at 6.
I like it. I don't think he is the number 1 running back at all. I like what he did his freshman season. Sorry not to interrupt you, but
that's partially why he 100% should be top 10. He had a great freshman season. It's not easy, especially because they had C.J. Donaldson. They had some other people too that were taking carries. He didn't even play the Texas game, so he has one game down, still 1,000 yards. 6 touchdowns, not the best. So I think it was solid. And he was a big factor against Michigan, and I think that matters here, is he had 117 yards. But then, against Miami, he wasn't a huge factor, but he only had 11 carries for 55 yards. But 11 carries, that's a little bit of a game plan thing too. But again, he was only a freshman, so I understand the game plan to not overload your freshman right away. So I got him at 6. I'm comfortable with it.
Also, the name, you got to live up to the name.
You got to live up to the name, even if you have no relation. If your name
no
is
relationship
Bo Jackson,
to the other Bo Jackson,
you have to be amazing. And we'll see. I still
gotta
have
be
high
Bo
hopes for him.
Jackson.
Yeah, I still got high hopes for him. I'm excited. He's obviously, in that offense, they spread the ball around. So even to put up 1,000
There's a lot of players on that offense you got to give the rock to, man. It's a lot of mouths to feed.
I still think great freshman year. He's going to be good.
Absolutely.
And then number 5, funny enough, our friend Hunter just sent me a memory from last year of me putting this guy on a list of players I think could break out. And that was after his freshman year when he only had 500 yards. Now he's top 5 for me. And I'm seeing him in the top 5 for other people too. So that's pretty cool. Just pat myself on the back. And that's Jaden Baugh out of Florida. This dude.
Yeah. I like him.
This dude's a tank. 6'1", 230 with good speed at running back. He's a tank. And he's
That's
like
a big
quick.
boy.
Yeah, he's quick too. But 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. The dude, I don't know how much more you could have asked for him because he played 6 top 10 teams this year. That's half of their schedule against 6 top 10 teams. And in that, he had 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, 127 receiving yards. Didn't have the best average, but he was their team. Because, Dallas Wilson struggled with injuries. Quarterback play was rough. So it's kind of like the Genty thing where it's like, all right, this is their best player. We don't necessarily have to worry about the other guys they got. We're going to shut them down. And that's kind of what happened. And so I don't really blame him. That was like a pretty rough stretch. But then, dude, Derrick Henry vibes in the last game against Florida State. 38 carries for 266 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, that poor dude. Holy crap.
I know, but that's cool. That's also something where, since we want to talk about cardio when it comes to winning the Heisman, I would say 38 carries for a running back is way more impressive than playing 1,000 snaps at receiver and DB.
Yeah.
Because this dude took a beating.
I would agree.
And he didn't get hurt. He was still pretty full go towards the end of the game too.
That's decent. Honestly, he's like the only bright spot in this Florida Gators team this upcoming year, low key, because this team's going to be garbage. Sorry, people in Gainesville and anywhere else. This team's not going to be good.
I mean, little pivot, and then we'll get back on track. Dude, I had such high hopes for DJ Lagway. Because his freshman year, 6-1 is a starter. That's awesome. And then he comes in, it's just bad. And then they have the weird game. Every week that their head coach was about to get fired, they would beat a ranked team and smoke Texas and then go back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. If they could just do that every week, they'd be in the playoffs.
A top 5 team.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still excited because even with the new coach coming in, did you see what he said on a podcast? When he was coaching and living in San Diego, because I think they were talking about the money. He's like, dude, I don't do this for the money. When I started out, I was in a bad part of San Diego. I had a Glock on my hip every time I left the apartment. That kind of, that might be what they need.
My boy's a G.
And that's fine, because we're hitting the top 4 now. And to kick it off with number 4.
Let's do it, buddy.
I want to preface it with, I really, truly think this guy is not getting enough love. Because I see a lot of lists. I see some people in the comments, and they're like, yo, where's this guy? Why is he not there? There's not X number of running backs better than this guy. So I still see love. A lot of it might be from the fan base. Because then I see these other big time college content creators, and they got this guy 8, 9, 10. I think he's number 4 without a doubt, maybe even 3, and that's Mark Fletcher from Miami. This dude is not getting, I think, the respect he deserves because he's a huge reason they almost won the Natty. And I'll say here with the stats versus where is it? Hold on one sec. All right, so he had 90 yards versus Ohio State, 133 versus Ole Miss, and then against Indiana, who again was shutting people down, he still had 112 and 2 touchdowns, and 172 versus A&M, who had a good defense in the first playoff game. This dude picked up a lot of pace and a lot of slack in the playoffs.
Honestly, I would put him at number
that's
3,
fair.
in my personal opinion. In my humble opinion, he is number 3. Yeah, to your point, like he ran over some tough opponents in the playoffs. Like Miami was running through Mark Fletcher in the college football playoffs and the regular season.
Malachi Tony was obviously the star of the show. He was the face of Miami offense. But Mark Fletcher was great. And again, I think this dude is going to easily be a top 5 running back. He could be top 3. I think he's going to go high in the draft next year. I just think
he could be number 1.
More love, but I still think you'll like the guy having number 3.
Okay, I think I already know. You want me to hold on? Let me see if I can figure out your list. So, Isaac Brown, number 3.
Don't say the rest yet. No, don't
number
say the
2.
rest yet.
Because I already know the other 2. Because we're gonna argue about 1 and 2.
Yet. But Isaac Brown is my number 3 because he only played 9 games last year. Yeah. I think that's kind of why he's not talked about. But in those 9 games, he's on 900 yards, 8.8 average with 900 yards. He is a home run hitter. A ton of vibes from Darrell Henderson from Memphis. Is like every time he touched the ball for Memphis, he could take it 50, like easily. And that's what I get from Isaac Brown. But with Isaac Brown, he's quicker, he's more elusive, and I think he can see the hole a little faster, like his vision. So I love Isaac Brown. I'm going to keep him here. And there's a reason every single year we talk about Isaac Brown leaving Louisville is because this dude's probably getting calls from every big team. Every team wants him.
Big 10, SEC, Big 12, low key. Yeah, any fucking team.
Junior. He was a true freshman, then a true sophomore. Now he's a true junior going into his 3rd year. He dealt with a little bit of injuries last year. But versus Miami, 113 yards, 7.5 average against that defense. That's great.
God damn,
a 7.5 average. Because we saw what that defense was doing to everyone in the playoffs. Dude. Texas A&M. We hyped up the running game all year for Miami to just shut it down like it was nothing. So Isaac Brown, I like that. And then obviously they upset Miami. And that was a huge part because of him. So he's my number 3. Mm-hmm. You're going to need to let me explain my reasoning for the top 2 because this is what I talked about. At the very beginning. They're both amazing. I'm not talking negatively about number 2.
It's fine. It's fine. It's your list. I know where he's at. He's my number 1. I just
had to pick the most comparable things between them. All right.
It's all good. They're both amazing.
Number 2 is Kawan Lacey. Number 1 is Ahmad Hardy. The reason if we think something that could be more opinionated, we'll start with that I think Hardy might edge him out is I think he has slightly more power and agility with like some of the quickness, the straight line speed. That's it. The tiny bit. But if we're thinking like actual, like, can I look at it statistically? Can I look at numbers? Is Ahmad Hardy had 1,600 yards in 13 games, whereas Lacey had 1,500 in 15 games. So 2 more games, about 150 less yards. Way more touchdowns, though. He did have 8 more touchdowns. The average is Hardy had 6.4. Lacey had 5.1. But Lacey does edge him out as a receiving back. He was a much better receiving back. Not anything crazy. He only had 200 receiving yards, but still a better receiving back. And then a thing that kind of pulled me back from putting Lacey at number 1 is his averages against Georgia, Oklahoma, LSU, and then Georgia again. 2 of them were below 3 yards a carry, and then LSU was 3.8. Didn't love that. But then again, here he comes. Great versus Miami. 11 carries, 103 yards and a touchdown. But here's like the only comparable game I would say is they both played Mississippi State. When Kawan Lacey played Mississippi State, 27 carries, 143 yards and a touchdown. When Ahmad Hardy played Mississippi State, 25 carries, 300 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 2 less carries, 150 more yards, 2 more touchdowns. Another caveat, because I'm going to keep defending them after I talk about it. Mississippi State looks at Ole Miss as a hated, bitter rival. They're somewhat inclined to play a little harder to their full potential. Could have got a bad Mississippi State team going against Mizzou. Maybe not really as into it, which you don't want to think about for a Division I SEC college team, but it happens because we saw Mississippi State, they beat Arizona State earlier in the year when Arizona State kind of had some hype. So Mississippi State, not a terrible team, but those are the reasons. Again, both great. They're going to be the 1 and 2 running back off the board, and I think the order of it is going to come off team fit, not off who's better than the other. Yeah,
who's
like,
better?
Think of it like when Jameis Winston and Mariota got drafted. Either one of them could have been the first overall.
Yeah.
Either one.
Absolutely.
I still to this day wish Mariota was number one because I think he would have been better in an offense like Tampa Bay than fucking Tennessee. But I don't want to get off on that track. That's it. That's my list.
So honestly, the only, again, it's opinionated. So the only caveat I have with this is I like Kewan Lacey just like a little bit more than Ahmad Hardy. Both phenomenal. Number one running backs, again, as to your point, they'll go wherever fucking team sees
that's
fit.
what I think it'll come
like,
down to.
I just like Kewan more. That's
and
literally
liking Lacey more doesn't mean you don't like Hardy. And I also
Ahmad Hardy is
really
amazing.
Like Lacey, and a part of that too is because I'm weirdly a fan of Ole Miss. Maybe it's a uniform thing. Might be mostly a uniform thing, but also I like the players now with Trinidad. I always kind of like their receivers. I didn't love Matt Corral when he was there, but I'm kind of an Ole Miss fan. So I like literally when it comes to the draft, like let's say there's a team and for some reason, like Titans, I think Ahmad Hardy, I think it might be him to the Titans because they're just going to run downhill. Hopefully he gets outside. But then if it's a team like the Seahawks who kind of like doing a screen game or kind of like getting the running backs to the outside, I'm not saying the Seahawks are going to be the number 2 overall pick. I'm just saying like a team they might go for Lacey instead of Hardy.
Honestly, my perfect fit would be with the Bears.
Which one?
Manungai and Kewan, like that would be like my dream fucking scenario.
I haven't seen them utilize a bigger back like Kewan because Kewan's pretty big.
That's what Manungai is. That's what I'm saying. And that's another reason why I like him.
Like, I don't know what it is. Because you mentioned Rashawn Johnson. Like, he's kind of the same type of player as Kewan. And a lot of people had high expectations for him. It just didn't seem like... I know it's a new Bears regime. But in general, just didn't really know how to use him. Because it's a little harder, you know, with those bigger backs once you get to the NFL. Like, not everyone can be King Henry. So, it's a little harder.
Yeah, you're an enigma when it comes to that. But yeah, that's funny. I just had this epiphany that both my number one quarterback and running backs are Ole Miss players.
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
Like, you and I agree with Trinidad.
When it comes down to it, like if we're gonna talk Heisman, I think Kewan has a much better chance of winning the Heisman than Ahmad Hardy because of the team dynamic too.
Yeah,
I think the team. And
I
the
would
touchdowns.
agree with you.
I mean, Ahmad Hardy still had 16 touchdowns, which is in 13 games, still amazing. But
that's
Kewan
very
had 24
impressive.
in 15 games. That's okay. 24 touchdowns is still great for a college football running back. So, you know, when it comes to like the Heisman, though, I think Lacey's going to have a little more hype because I think Ole Miss is going to have more eyes on him. Mizzou just lost their quarterback. Still no idea why Pabula transferred. Makes zero sense to me. So Mizzou's like, it's going to be the Ahmad Hardy show, which I guess you could argue is also maybe another reason why he might be in the Heisman. But then we see what happens if the running back's amazing and the team around him kind of isn't as highly thought of. But that's my list there. Also, since we're talking about him, hoping Ahmad Hardy recovers from the terrible situation.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man.
He was released.
Yeah, that's...
He wasn't, I don't think it was critical condition. They were kind of like, about that. But I think it was rough shape, you know, getting shot.
Anytime I feel like you get shot, you're in critical condition.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
You could
really
die
sucks.
from a leg bullet or a bolt to the leg. You could die from that.
Yeah, Sean Taylor.
Yeah, so I think he'll recover. I'm hoping he'll recover and he'll be the same Ahmad Hardy. Not in just the sense of like we love football, we want him to be great so we can be entertained. Like dude got shot by 2 of his former.
Not all about teammates. Football.
That's awful. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's terrible, dude. You don't wish that upon anybody. That's it's unfortunate.
Because he was just
really
at a
sucks.
concert in Mississippi. Like, dude, he was enjoying his time, and he got shot by 2
and then somebody
teammates.
Yeah, like, what are we doing here?
But so yeah,
what are we doing?
Speedy recovery. That's my running back list. I guess spoiler alert, you can tell I'm probably going to receivers next. That's okay, because I still might throw a curveball, so don't expect too much.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing or maybe I already did. I don't know. No, okay, so we'll keep that in limbo for the moment. Yeah, so is that all you got then?
That is quick little
little
housekeeping, I guess. We're not super consistent on the scheduling and the recording right now. That's mainly me. It's my fault. I'm going through job training, so it's been every day, 8 hours of a lot of stuff.
And elephant in the room, guys. My boy's getting married in the next couple of weeks. He's getting married.
Oh my God. So
a lot
excited,
of planning.
But I'm also excited for a lot of the planning stuff we're doing to be done. Like, we're spending our whole Saturday tomorrow doing decorations, DIY decorations to save some dough. But with that, with that said, we have next week, Thursday, hopefully, NFL. Week after that, wedding.
There might not be an episode the first week into the second week of June, guys. Just a little bit of an FYI.
The first week of June, I'm going to be fully out of commission. And then, Kale's going to be out of commission.
I'm pretty sure I will be.
He's here.
Because I'm in the wedding too, guys.
But then the week after, we'll come back hot.
Probably back on
with college.
So you're going to get one more episode, probably. Again, it's a very, very slight possibility that we might record when I'm there. It's probably not, but if it is, cool. We'll get it done. It might be a drunk episode, but don't get your hopes up with that, guys, honestly. Like, I'm saying it.
Who knows? Maybe Instagram will get a nice pic of us standing up there together, posted or something. Who knows?
There you go. Yeah, you never know, guys. We might post it to the Instagram. But yeah, that is all. Please like, share, subscribe, turn the post notifications on. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, all that fun stuff. Instagram, look out for the reels and the posts. New updated stuff. TikToks are always on there. TikTok Shorts. It's on YouTube. Give the YouTube Shorts some loves. But yeah, that is it, guys. That is it. I really enjoyed hearing Cam's thoughts about his top 10 running backs. Looking forward to more. This is really fun. Really enjoyed this.
Running back's not even. Yeah. I would say out of the quarterback, running back, and receiver ones I'm going to do, running back was probably my least excited one, and I still loved it. Like, receivers, you guys are going to get a treat, I think, when it comes down to receivers.
Yeah, I can't wait. So, all right, that's it. That's your two favorite boys.
That's all I got.
What were you saying? Good. That's all you got? All right, well, we're going to clock out now. That's your two favorite boys from the podcast from Saturdays to Sunday, y'all. We hope you really enjoy it. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Coming now, follow my lead. Come coming now, follow my lead.